name is Ine Duke from Late Night Vibes with Ine and CC. Things no one ever told me as an international student arriving in the UK. So I'll give you 12 tips that no one ever told me when I came into the UK over 11 years ago as an international student. I'll give them to you now. So number one, secure your accommodation. So we have some people get private accommodation or accommodation on campus. Which one, if I knew at the time, I would have gone for private accommodation because the accommodation on campuses are more expensive than the accommodation off campus. I didn't know that, but when I stayed after 3 months, I had to move out of campus to get secure accommodation close to uni. So tip number one, make sure to secure accommodation, private accommodation, except you want to stay on campus. What are the pros and cons of off-campus accommodation and staying on campus? Staying on campus, of course, you stay close to amenities, the school facilities, you will get close to your course mates, you get to know more people, you get to know your course mates as well. You get familiar, you familiarize yourself with the university campus and all of that, and uni life, kind of. And then staying off campus would mean that once you finish school, you're back home and all of that. You might not get the feel of people you're studying with, your course mates, and that uni campus life thing. You might not get that. Those are the downside of staying off campus. But in terms of affordability, is way cheaper staying off campus than staying on campus. I wish someone told me. No one told me that. But be very careful of scammers on Facebook and Gumtree if you're looking for accommodation off campus. You want to go to Rightmoves. Spare Room is a good one as well. We didn't know at the time students were using Spare Room as well, so you want to also consider Spare Room, Zoopla, Rightmoves. So that's tip number one. No one told me when I moved into the UK. And then tip number two is pack smart. I like this side. When I wrote this one out, it made me laugh because when I moved to the UK, when I came in, I packed everything at least within the 25 kg times 2 that I got. I was allowed to carry on, come on board with, but I packed all sorts. Literally, even the laptop I came with stopped working when I arrived in the UK, so I had to buy a new laptop. Barely. I did not pack smart. So, but the good thing, I must say this, then kudos to people who do this. The good thing that people do that I observed from when I moved into the UK was that they saw me with my load, and people would ask me going up. My university at the time was University of Hertfordshire in Hatfield. So from Heathrow, I took the train. So when I got to Finsbury Park, of course, I needed to get the train to Finsbury, from Finsbury to Hatfield. People would ask me if I wanted help with my suitcase. Kudos to people who do that. Thank you so much. Those people really saved me. People would ask me, do you need help with your suitcase? I'll say yes. And then they will help me lift my suitcase up to the platform and all of that. Thank you so much for everyone that did that for me. And that's one thing I've observed that they do in the UK. Even ladies do that for ladies. When they see that you've got you're lifting, you've got everything you're lifting, you're lifting up, they want to offer that kind of help if you need help with your suitcase. So please pack smart. Don't pack like me. Check the weather before you come. Check the weather. I dressed like I thought I was going to Dubai. I dressed so warm. I got here end of September and it was cold at the time I came. I was literally shaking outside the accommodation or waiting for my key. I was shaking, and at one point I cried. I had a jumpsuit. I remember a black silk jumpsuit I had on at the time. Silk black suit, jumpsuit. Imagine. I didn't check the weather, so please check the weather. It was freezing. When I mean freezing to me, coming from Nigeria at the time, it was cold. I was shaking. So check the weather and dress warm, please. And then the next tip for you again is to get registered with a GP as soon as you arrive. Of course, most universities will tell you your GP practice, the nearest one to you. There are GP practices on campus as well, or anyone next to you. So you want to register with your GP as well, because of course your healthcare visa surcharge allows you to register with a GP. So do that as soon as you arrive in the UK. And then tip number 4 is your transport. That's another one no one told me about that I didn't know. So whenever I was going into London, I used to pay the full price. I didn't realize that as a mature student at the time, I could get the mature student rail card, or 16 to 25 years rail card, depending on your age. Rail card for students is very important because you pay £30 for the year, but you get 1/3 you get one third discount on all your travels from wherever you are to London, or most places you get discount. So that is a game changer. And also you can use Avanti Super Fare. If you're traveling from one place to another, depending on the town, Avanti Super Fare charges way very very reduced price. I didn't know about that at the time. So if you're traveling they don't cover all the cities, so check, but you get very cheap price if you want to use Avanti Super Fare. So as a student, you want your 1625 rail card, or if you're above 65, you want a mature student rail card. It will save you so much money. Nobody told me. When I knew about that, I was very happy. So that's another one that you want to know. And then you also want to save on shopping. I didn't know about Lidl at the time, so I was going to Asda. I was doing my shopping in Asda most of the times. But you could shop at Lidl, you save money. Aldi, you save money as well. So you want to really save money. So those are places where you can also, and then if you get to Sainsbury's as well, you can get the card, the Nectar card, Tesco Club card, and all of those ones. Those would save you money. These are tips nobody told me that I'm telling you should do. And then academic and social life. It's very important to social life. Have a life. It is very good. So of course, uni life and studying academically, you have to study independently, right? So you wouldn't be spoon fed. With me at the time, I was going to the library 6 a.m. when I stayed off campus as well. 6 a.m. I'll be in the library, and then I leave the library 6 p.m. That was my preference, When Saturdays too, I could do like 7 a.m. and come back. Then I was doing my job as well, 20 hours. So because I wanted to work. So, but I prefer to do 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'll pack all my food and everything with me to the library. And then of course they have facilities and areas where you can eat and microwave your food. So you wouldn't be spoon fed, but remember to also clock in when you go for lectures. Clock in, because it's very important, clock in, attend lectures. I was attending different lectures at the time, but you wouldn't be spoon fed as well. But the lecturers are quite good. They're open to even academic coaches as well. You get academic coaches as well. So that's another tip for you. And then make friends and socialize. I said that. Make friends and socialize. Know that there are cultural differences, so make friends outside your bubble. It might be hard to mix up, but it's a beautiful thing because you're coming into a different society, with different culture. You want to mix up, you want to learn, you want to socialize. So learn to make friends outside your bubble. And one app that I find that was very useful at the time, and even up till now I use it, is Meetup. Meet, MEET, up. It's a very good app. You can find anything, dancing, meeting people in your area, anything you put on Meetup. It's a genuine place where you can meet people. So, but it's your responsibility to know whom it's not a dating app, it's a socializing app. So it's a very, very good app where you can socialize and meet people and do even dancing, learning languages, and anything you want to do. You find it on Meetup. Download the app, or I really did use Meetup at the time as well. And then the most important thing is finding part-time job and summer work in the UK. Part-time job. Of course, our visas for international students allows you to do 20 hours during term time and full-time during holidays. But be very careful. Do not go beyond your 20 hours so you don't get into trouble with your visa. So, getting job, that is a big one, can be a bit tricky. The first thing The mistake I made that no one told me was my CV. I didn't work on my CV, right? I used the same CV because in Nigeria, the way we use our CV, our CV style and writing style is different, and that was the one I used. So you have your date of birth, your sex, and all of those ones. My CV, when I saw my CV later, it was just all over the place. So I used that CV, but nothing happened. So I came in end of September, October. I got my first job in November, and I'll tell you these are things that no one told me that I discovered myself. So I used that period 1 month to work to work on my CV career. I used CV library at the time to do some work on my CV, right? So what I did was finding part-time job. People will tell you to find part-time job online, but what I basically do was the traditional way of going into places, shops, and all of that. I didn't even know where I was going, but it's a good strategy. It was a good strategy that I use, and I also use that with my children. Even though they are Gen Z, and it did work for them. So I printed out my CV, took it to industrial areas. I'll knock on the gates and I said, no, this is not, it's an industrial area. I mean, industrial area, you can't come in here. This is not the main area. The main office, our main office is somewhere else. So I was just walking around. So go to shops, go to places, wherever you want to work. Go to the Galleria, I mean the mall. In Hatfield at the time it was a Galleria. So I took my CV, I printed lots of CV. I went to the Galleria. After that, they told me, no, if you want to get shops and restaurants and anywhere to do part-time, you have to go to the Galleria. So I walked to the Galleria, go into shops and ask. It does work. I will tell you, it does work. Go into shops and ask if they want part-time work. Sometimes they'll tell you to go online, apply in shop. I give them, someone will ask you for your CV. They ask me for my CV. I give them my CV. That was a long walk I did. Like, I did that for like 5 hours or so that day. But of all the shops I entered, they'll tell me to go online, drop my CV. It was one of the restaurants, Bella Italia, that asked me to, when he told me to give me in my CV, the manager, I gave him my CV. And then he told me if I can start as soon. He asked me if I could start as soon as possible. I said, yes, I can. Voila, got a job, part-time. That was my first job. That was in November. So I even got a job even before some of my colleagues that came into the UK. So that strategy works. And when I graduated too, I used that strategy to look for a paralegal work, to volunteer. And it did also work for me. I got a paralegal job in a law firm, just like that, to volunteer. And it also worked with my children as well. When they finished secondary school, I still can't get my head around this high school, sixth form and all of that. I just can't get my head around. It's still the Nigerian way. I still do. So when they finished, the high school or secondary school, I took them around to where we're living before at the time, the malls, and they got their jobs, their first jobs as well. No, their main jobs, first job after school at TK Maxx. Each of them, they got their job, and one of them did that job for 3 years, worked with TK Maxx. Even though she went to uni, they transferred her to where university was at the time. TK Maxx transferred her there, and then the other one too did December job work as well with TK Maxx. So that was just by going into shops and handing your CV. So as well as I was doing it online, I was also going into the shops and offices to speak, and it has worked for me, and I always encourage you to do that as well. It might be tiring, but do not give up. If you keep doing it I've even done it, apart from what I've got firms ask me when I graduated, sometimes the terms were not good, that's why I didn't go back to them. It did work for me, both online. So I got jobs online. I was applying online, getting declined as well, lots of declines. And then I also got jobs, handing my CV. So my first job, I got it like that by walking into different shops and restaurants. Very, very, it's tiring. It could feel exhausting, but just don't give up. It's a good way to do. Just don't focus on online. And then the next thing again, agencies, you want to register with agencies, go in person, drop your CVs, register with agencies, and call the agencies as well if you have. Once you know somebody's name in that agency, make sure if it's Rose, hi, can I speak to Rose, please? Once somebody gives you attention, is that person you want to speak? That's what I always do. Once someone gave me attention, that's that. Anytime I call that place, will be, can I speak to Rose, please? Can I speak to Rose, please? And all of that. So do that. We'll go in person, and then online and call them. That's what is called follow up. Call them. It's quite important. And again, do not exceed your 20 hours per week. If you're on as a student, don't exceed your 20 hours per week. Of course, during term time, you can do more. You can volunteer and then do more hours as well. You can also check your student union, cafes, canteen, hospitality. I also got a hospitality job as part of, I got with Bella Italia. Then of course the story changed anyway because I moved on from this to that. And then I got online hospitality in London and all of that. So you just keep doing it. If you don't do it, you don't get it. But just keep on doing that. But most importantly, and also the websites you can use are to look for the jobs: Indeed, Student UK, Uniterms, and then you, like I said, prospect.co.uk as well. And then LinkedIn also, it's a big one as well that you can also check. But remember to work on your CV. It's very important to work on your CV. And sometimes, maybe some of you would have encountered this, and you will encounter it. When you apply for jobs, they will say they want people with experience. And then I was asking myself, like, how can I get the experience if you don't get me, if you don't employ me, right? But that is what they want. That is their criteria. But keep on pushing and do voluntary roles, work, job. Those voluntary jobs will give you the experience that employers are also looking for. And voluntary can be 1, 2, 3, 4 hours in a week, So that's another tip for you. Work on your CV. It's very, very important. You're a student. The career services in your university, they're all open to helping students. Book appointment as you enter the UK. Settle 1 day, 2 days. Find out, go to your career services. To work on your CV. You don't know the importance of that CV. Sometimes we think our CV is good enough until when the career services revamped my CV. I saw from this to that. My CV was like, you could just see the difference like that. This is what they want. Their CV, they might want it up to 2 pages or thereabout, depending on what job you're applying for. If it's a part-time job, 2 pages is all right. Book your CV, have a CV appointment with them. They will revamp your CV for you. They will revamp it for you. They will keep doing it. Keep just not once. Book and book and book. When I went to Queen Mary University, I had over 20 weeks. Oh, bless her. She did my CV for me, like over 20 sessions. I'm telling you. University of Hertfordshire, I can't even count how many times they worked on my CV. So you want to make sure that the CV you came with, just pack it to one side. You want them to revamp the CV. Show them what you've done. Show them that CV. They will ask for it. They will work on the CV for you. And then you want to use that to also apply for jobs online, summer jobs, internships, and all of that one. And there is also a company that I can refer you to. So use my referral code INEDuchess, and they are called Electric CV. So Olawale would help you work on your CV. If you use my referral code INEDuchess, if you've moved into the UK within 5 months, it will be £30. Within 5 months of relocating into the UK, within the last 5 months of relocating into the UK, he will charge you £30 instead of £100 if you use my code INEDuchess. Do not forget. I'll leave the description. I'll leave the link to his website in the description section. And my code INEDuchess, you get £30 instead of £100. And Electric CV is they are very good at what they do, and they would also help you with 25 applications. There are different support that you would get, LinkedIn and all of those support. But make sure to use my referral code INEDuchess. You get £30 if you moved into the UK within the last 5 months. And please share this information to other people that will benefit from it as well. Please, that's there because we're here to help people, and that's that. So you can also get your CV. If you check CV Library, you just put a template. There's a template for that people can use. I used CV Library at the time, and I use the career services in my university as well. But now we also have electric CVs as well that I recommend to people because I know the work they do, and they do very, very good work, and they know what they're doing as well. So you want to contact them. And then what is my final tip? So apply early. If you want to apply for summer job, please apply early because it is highly competitive. No one told me all these things. Apply early. Part-time job, as you come in, start to work on your CV. The first week, just start printing out the CV and distributing the CV, because it's quite important that we get, that's what most people are like, how do I get a job? So distribute the CV online, in person, phone calls, agencies, very important. And then electric CVs would help you also work on your CV as well. Your career services, CV library. These are the things I use: CV library, my career services as well in my university. I think those are the tips I want to get to you. So final take, get your work early. Start building your CV the UK style early as well. I've given you the services you use, and don't forget, if you're using electric services, you use my code INE Duchess to get £30 if you moved into the UK within the last 5 months. They will not just help you with CV, sorting your CV out, but they will help you with so many things. They are really good electric CVs. I can recommend them again and again. And also budget and shop smart. Use your student discount, uni days, rail cards, loyalty cards. Use them to shop smart and go to affordable shops like Aldi, Lidl. And then try and cook, because cooking can save you some money. Trust me, cooking, instead of ordering food, cooking can save you some money. You can get affordable ingredients and all of that. You to save you some money instead of ordering. And then step out of your comfort zone. Mix with other people. It's just easy, of course, to stick with people you know. But you have to network. You have to know the culture. You have to know different cultures. You have to know different people. So volunteering is another way of doing that. Volunteer. People were like, why were you volunteering at the time? But you wouldn't know what volunteering did for me. Volunteer in any sector that you want to do, you do it. Find it online. Google them and then call them up. Search. You would get those opportunities. There are opportunities in the UK if you step out of your comfort zone. And then remember that you can also use the app Meetup to get, if you want to do some exercise, some socializing, anything different that will, some fun things as well. It's not a dating app anyway. So I don't know if they do dating app now anyway, but they are mainly for socializing. And then the final take is, tell me in the comment section what your experiences were when you moved into the UK, and other tips that you can drop for people to also learn, because people are all here to learn. Other people would also read. So if there's anything that I've missed from my 12 tips that you also want to add, please leave it in the comment section. And you can also feel free to call me if you have any topic or any tips or information that you want people to learn, to hear about. Feel free to call me on 077 26 404187, and I'll also drop the phone number in the description box, and I'll also drop the link to Electric League CVs in the description box, and their phone number and email address as well, so you can also contact them. And do us a favor to share this video, because you don't know who would benefit from it, because we're here to help people. And and as usual, subscribe to our channel, Late Night Vibes with Ine and CC. And I'll see you again with more tips, more story, and more vibes soon. Bye.